Hello, I am Ben Sefton. On behalf of Wipro CDAO Circle, welcome to a conversation with Ateet Jayaswal, VP and Chief Culture and Employee Experience Officer at Wipro, and Surojit Chatterjee, CEO and founder of Ema. Today, I am excited to discuss enterprise-scale agentic HR transformation, a client zero experience, with my two guests, and to hear about their experience and insights that they have got from driving a transformation of this scale. Let us start with some short introductions. So Ateet, over to you. Tell us a bit about yourself and a little bit about your history, if we may.
Thank you, Ben. Delighted to be here and happy to be talking to this August audience. So I lead culture and employee experience at Wipro. Our vision is to improve the work life of Wiproites by adopting modern ways of transacting, engaging, and collaborating. We transform the moments that matter, take away non-value added work, leveraging technology and collaboration, and AI has given a huge flip to our agenda. Prior to Wipro, I spent 18 years at General Electric in digital and the healthcare business in a variety of roles in human resources in both growth as well as mature markets. My last role prior to my current one was to lead the HR business partnership function for GE's digital business. So that's a little bit about myself.
Thank you very much indeed, Ateet. And Surojit, welcome also to the conversation. Do tell us a little bit about your history and perhaps share a little bit about Ema, the organization you founded.
Well, thank you so much. Very excited to be here. Great company. My background, I'm CEO and founder of Ema, Enterprise Mission Assistant. We are a company here based in Silicon Valley in Mountain View, California, funded by Axel and others. And we build AI employees, which is basically agentic workflows to automate any business process. And we have seen a lot of success in the HR, ITSM, and employee finance space. And this is what we'll talk about a lot today. Prior to that, I spent over 2 decades here in Silicon Valley working for Google for almost 14 years. I built and led mobile advertising and a bunch of other Google businesses almost over half of Google's annual revenue.
So now for the next 30 minutes or so, what we're going to talk about is to hear about your firsthand experiences and share perhaps some of the insights that you've gained from leading business transformation powered by agentic AI process reimagination. And it's really that combination of driving business transformation through that agentic AI process reimagination, which I think is going to capture the interest of our audience here today. So thank you very much indeed. So let's start by setting the scene, Ateet, if we may. I think most organizations associate AI and HR with chatbots, but you've taken a very fundamentally different approach at Wipro. Can you describe the enterprise scale transformation you're leading and why you chose to redesign rather than to increment?
Sure. And that's a great question, Ben. So the way we've approached AI inside of HR at Wipro is 3-pronged. The first is to build a system of intelligence, a system of engagement and transaction. Think of it as a super agent. It goes beyond a personal assistant. And it orchestrates people processes to start with, with a vision that eventually it would orchestrate business processes. The second is adopting modern platforms that have AI inbuilt in them. And the third is really point solutions that bridge specific gaps that the first two are not able to address. So that's really how we've approached AI inside of HR at Wipro.
Thank you. Interesting to see that combination of platform and out of the box, if you like, with those point solutions. But Surojit, from your vantage point, here at the starting point, the conversation is shifting from chatbots into, I think, as you described it, if I may, in an earlier conversation, AI employees that execute work end to end. I mean, how are you seeing that change, that conversation shift?
Yeah, first of all, I want to actually say, people like Ateet are really at the forefront of this transformation. We work with a lot of enterprise leaders, and I have seen the evolution last couple of years. Early on, it was mostly, oh, I need a point solution, I need a chatbot, I need an assistant or a co-pilot, right? And the industry and technology has moved on to do much bigger things, and capabilities have moved on, and has really enhanced to what Ateet was saying, which is we can now build this layer of intelligence over our systems. So a system of intelligence and actions, that's what we call our AI employees. So our AI employees really sit on top of different system of records, different data sets, and can basically mimic what humans would do, like actions or and decisions they would take. Of course, learning from humans and helping humans to accelerate their functions. So the conversation is shifting from understanding that, oh, I'll use AI to do these point things, to I can use AI as another employee, just like, or a group of employees, and deploy AI at a much broader scale inside enterprise, of course, with the right safety and guardrails, which is very important. I'm sure we'll talk about that more.
Yes.
But that transformation is happening. Leaders are thinking how to transform their entire organization, thinking of a new world where AI and human are working together. So AI, that's why we call this AI employees. It's a slightly provocative name, but that's how to think about it. How you'll redesign your future workforce where AI and human are collaborating. And you may have to rethink the structure, the function the human will play, and AI will play. And this is playing out, of course, in HR, ITSM, but also across the organization. If you look at software development, if you look at customer support, if you look at other functions like sales, this is going to play out next few years, where companies have to rethink how they organize themselves. It's a big transformation moment.
But firstly, I mean, there is companies do struggle, and you do see pilots, AI pilots stall. I mean, and in fact, I think there's a stat out there that says fewer than 1 in 5 HR leaders consider that their AI implementations have been successful. So that's, a challenging environment there. So based on your experience, Ateet, why do you think that some of those early AI pilots stall?
That's another, great line of conversation, Ben. I think there is a little bit of race towards AI for the sake of AI versus identifying what is the business problem that one is trying to solve. Right now, of course, one draws a lot of inspiration, from our experiences in the consumer world, from all the, great AI tools that are available there. But from my perspective, the starting point has to be, what is the problem that you are trying to solve? What is your vision? How is it that the problem you're trying to solve aligns with your vision? I think the second is, right from the go, are you thinking of a solution that is scalable enterprise-wide? How does it integrate with my enterprise systems? How does it comply with the cloud guardrails? how does it treat data privacy and security? Does it have the ability to support multiple simultaneous transactions? So I think these are some areas that many a times are not thought through, and that come in the way of pilots being scaled globally, based on failures that we've seen as well of pilots not being scaled inside of Wipro.
Have you seen some recurring challenges as well that keep cropping up?
Yeah, absolutely. I think first thing is what Ateet said is very important, identifying the right use cases and the right ROI. Because often I see leaders will be excited about a use case, maybe that came to their mind, like, in the last conversation, hallway conversation they had, which may or may not be the most the highest business impacting kind of use case. But it's maybe a slight annoyance on the side, or can you just do this, or AI can solve this problem. We always recommend leaders take a pause, take a step back, and look at the entire process architecture end to end. And look at where the bottlenecks are, where they're spending a lot of time and resources, and prioritize. And that exercise really helps create clarity on which use cases are the most important to tackle. Sometimes the most boring ones may be the most important. Sometimes we get carried away and say, oh, AI, let's do the most interesting, most sexy thing to impress maybe someone, or right, in the organization or something. So creating business value, the short answer is creating business value. So that's number one. I think number two, which I would give a lot of credit to Ateet. What happens sometimes, the executive is very excited, understands, and has gone ahead, but then hasn't really spent enough time to help with the change management internally. So the POC or the pilot just lingers on. Maybe it was successful, maybe it was not, like half success, but nobody took any learning from it, and nobody kind of helped move it along. I think that is really important, to be engaged and get through the whole thing, and create the right success metric from the beginning, and hold every party accountable. It's not just holding the vendor, let's say, or the accountable, or the software provider accountable, holding the team internally also accountable. Third thing is, a lot of these things will fail, or never go from POC to full kind of actual deployment, because AI works on data. In POC stage, you can say, okay, I'll give you some fake data, etc. I will, or give you a small sample, so the POC works fine. But we have seen then there is a stall. Oh, but how can we give you access to our production data? And this is again where the executive or the sponsor probably need to help, because if AI is useless without data, so we have situations where, oh, you can't access any internal data, then AI is pretty much useless. So you are now jumping through hoops. So there are barriers with the IT team, with security team, reasonable barriers, because companies have a lot of safeguards, and this is a big change. So accessing data, figuring out the right ROI use cases, doing the internal change management, helping and holding people accountable, those are critical things in my head to make POCs successful, actually full kind of deployment successful.